You can ask your doubts. Okay. So, okay. What we are going to start today is with complex numbers. There are two problems I face. Both problems I'm going to explain to you. First of all, you tell me, what is square root of 25?
5.
5.
It is only
Plus minus
positive
5.
No plus or minus. No plus or minus. But if I write x square is equal to 25, then x has got two values, plus and minus.
Plus
Yes.
or minus
Yes, sir.
5.
Notation, when I use this notation square root, only positive value, no negative value. That means root of a, if a is a positive number, is always a positive number. It cannot be a
Yes.
negative number. Is that clear to you? First of all, the notation root stands for only positive value. Okay. Why is square root of 25 is 5? How do you come to know it's correct or wrong? Because when I square 25, I get 25 as answer. That's the reason square root of 25 is 5. Then a problem arises. What will be square root of 25? Minus 25. What should I square to get minus 25 as answer? But you know that whenever I square a real number, I always get a positive number. I don't get a negative number. So my number system is incomplete. I don't have a number whose square will give me negative number as answer. So since I don't have square, please unmute. Please unmute. Students, when you enter, please unmute, mute and, sorry, not unmute, mute and enter the class. Okay, otherwise your house sound will be recorded in my video. Okay, so square root of minus 16, square root of minus 9, how will I calculate? First and foremost thing, they are not real numbers. What do you mean by real numbers? Numbers which can be marked on a number line. They are not numbers which can be marked on a number line. So it's not real numbers. Okay. Now, how will I find out? How will I find out? How will I find out square root of a negative number? Aditya, mute your audio. Okay. For that, I have to define a new number. What we define is root of minus 1 is alphabet. Actually, it is Greek alphabet iota. But we are Indians, we speak English. So we will denote it by letter I in small letter. So now once you know root of minus 1 is I, that means if I square, I will get minus 1 as answer. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So
No, sir.
So when I'm defining root of minus 1 as I, what is the benefit? Root of minus 25 will be root of minus 1 into 25. Now root of minus 1 will become I and root of 25 will become 5. Hence your answer became 5i. Now let's reverse and see. If I square 5i, what answer do I get? If I square 5i, what answer I do get? 5 square will give you 25. I square is minus 1. So you get minus 25 as answer. Is that clear to you? So
Yes,
this I
Yes, sir.
is known as imaginary unit. This is called imaginary unit. So let's have a look at this I. Whenever I is the least form. That's why we call it unit. If I square I will get minus 1. Is it clear? So if I want to calculate square root of minus 16, what will be my answer?
4i.
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 Square root of minus 9,
3i.
3i.
3i. Square root of minus 5, root 5i.
Root 5 I. Yeah.
Root 5.
Okay.
So one question, sir.
Yes.
This I is the value is constant for us in -1.
Yes, square of I is -1.
Yeah. So it's a constant. You can't change that, right?
No, you cannot. It's like you're defining a new number.
Okay.
Number is such a number whose square is -1. Remember, this number is not a real number. It's an imaginary number. Solely we call it imaginary unit. Why the word unit? It is a least form of it. So if you see anywhere I, we don't write it as root of -1. We don't write it as unit. It is, although it is equal to root of -1, but we don't write it. We keep it I as I only. But if you see somewhere -16, you will make it into I and
4i.
Right.
Yeah. Any calculation with the square root of a negative number, convert it into I and then calculate. Otherwise, you may go wrong. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So suppose I want to add minus root 16 plus 3 times root of -4 plus 2 times root of -25. Then my method of calculation would be, this we will write as 4i.
4i.
This you will write as 2i.
3 into I
5i.
Into 5i.
Final
plus
answer 4i plus 6i, 10i plus
2
10
into
20i.
5.
We will not write root of 20 into minus. This we will not write. Although it means the same, but we will not write it. We will stop over there. Always we will stop at I. Now I
Sir,
told
the
you
exact answer, sir.
20i. Exact answer is 20i.
हाँ मतलब ये हुआ तो -20 ना ये I
It's
जो
not
है
minus
अपना
20. It is not -20. It is root of -400.
Sir, if
But
I
you will not
square-
write it
if-
this way.
Sir, if it is I square, then only -1. Na?
Yeah, I square will be written as -1. I is nothing but root of -1.
Yes, sir.
So we
Okay.
don't write root, we don't replace I by root -1, but root of -1 will be replaced by I. So if you come across root of -16, you will write as 4i. But if you come across 4i, we will not write it as root of -4 because this is the root of -16. Because this is imaginary unit, the smallest one. You don't have to synthesize or simplify further with I. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
what do you call this type of, you said this is imaginary unit. What will be 3i? What will be 7i? Half I? They are called imaginary numbers. What do you call them? Imaginary numbers.
Numbers.
Any number, a real number with I is known as imaginary number. So if I want to solve this equation, how will I solve this equation? X squared plus 16 is equal to 0.
X square
What is
is
this
equal
x?
to minus
Square
16.
equal to?
Minus 16.
So x is equal to
4i.
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 Here you will have a plus or minus.
Plus or minus.
Because if you square 4i, I'll get -16. If you square -4i, then also I'll get -16. So x will have two values, plus or minus 4i. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
And what do you call this number? Is it a real number?
No.
No. And what do you call this number? Imaginary number.
Imaginary number.
Is it clear to everybody? Let's write
Yes,
down.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Write the heading. Imaginary complex number you had written, heading.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Subheading of complex number, write imaginary unit. This is your first subheading. Imaginary unit. Then you write square root of -1 is denoted by I, and it is called imaginary unit. I square, if you square this I, it is actually iota, okay? So if suppose somebody speak to you iota, that is also correct. We are using it such a way that easy to communicate. I square is -1. What will be I cube? If I square is
Plus
minus 1,
1.
it will be I square into I. Correct? No, A cube means A
Ah.
into A. So it will be minus 1 into I.
The root of minus 1.
So it will be minus I. So I cube is minus I. What will be I raised to 4? It is I square into I square. It is minus 1 into minus 1.
Minus 1.
So it will be plus 1. So I raised to 4 will be 1. So I want you to by heart this. First i's power is I only. I raised to 1. I square is minus 1. I cube minus I.
Minus I.
I raised to 4, 1.
Plus 1.
Is it okay?
1. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I'm going to tell you something very interesting. Are you ready? Can I change the page?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What will be I raised to 8? What will be I raised to 12? What will be I raised to 16? What will be I raised to 20? What will be I raised to 200?
The answer for all these will be
What?
1.
I
only.
raised to 4n. Now look
1.
at this. I raised to 8 is nothing but I raised to 4 the whole square. But
That's
I raised to 4 is 1.
1 the whole square.
So answer became 1. I raised to 12 is I raised to 4 the whole cube. So it became 1 cube. That also 1. I raised to 16 is I raised to 4 the whole raised to 4. That also became 1 raised to 4. That is 1. So my conclusion is all those whose power is a multiple of 4 will give you answer as 1. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is the technique of writing multiple of 4?
Yes, sir.
4n. It is written as 4n. Everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
tell me, one
Yes,
of you, J, what will be I raised to 1000? J, can you answer me what is I raised to 1000? Immediately you have to ask the question, is 1000 a multiple of 4?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Then your answer is 1.
1.
1.
So the answer will be 1.
Understood? Okay. J, don't
Yes, sir.
stop. I raised to 40. How much will be the answer?
1.
1.
1.
So from this, my conclusion, I raised to any multiple of 4 will be 1. M stands for an integer, okay? Any multiple of 4. 4m means multiple of 4. Is that clear? Okay. After you have done that,
Yes, sir.
let's have a look at one more than I raised multiple of 4. What is one more than multiple of 4? Look at this.
4 plus 1.
I raised to 9. Multiple of 4 is 8, 1 more than that. I raised to 13. Multiple of 4 is 12, 1 more than that. I raised to 17. 16 is a multiple of 4, 1 more than that. Which I am calling it as I raised to 4n plus 1.
Plus 1.
1 more than the multiple of 4. What will happen to this? You will have I raised to 8 into I. This will become 1.
1.
So your answer will become I. Did you understand? I
Sure.
raised to 13
Yes, sir.
will become multiple of 4 and into I. This became 1.
I.
So this also will be I. So this also will be I. So whenever the number is 1 more than the multiple of 4, your answer is I. So multiple of 4 will get deleted. What is remaining is your answer. So one of you tell me what will be I raised to 401.
I.
I.
I,
Because
sir.
400 is a multiple of 4 plus 1. So I. What will be I raised to 21?
I.
Because 21 is
सर
20 plus 1. Yeah. Yes.
जितने
Ask.
भी ऑड नंबर है उसका
Odd,
आंसर
even
आई
का-
आ रहा है और
All
इवन
odd numbers का आंसर नहीं होगा.
अच्छा
Multiple of 4 से एक ज्यादा है तो ही I आएगा.
और अगर कोई
All
मल्टीपल
odd
ऑफ
number
4
का नहीं.
नहीं रहा तो
अभी बता रहा हूँ एक एक.
अच्छा
Okay.
हाँ हाँ
Now we go for multiple of 4 plus 2. 1 more than, 2 more than the multiple of 4. I raised to 10. I raised to 14. I raised to 18. I raised to 22. That is I raised to 4n plus 2. Multiple of 4 से 2 ज्यादा क्या हो जाएगा? एक I raised to 8 हो जाएगा, दूसरा I square हो जाएगा.
I square, so
ये तो 1 है, तो आपका आंसर I square और I square का वैल्यू
minus
माइनस
1.
ये भी ऐसा ही होगा. I raised to 12 into I square. So a 1 हो गया, multiple of 4 है तो 1, so I square का वैल्यू minus 1, so ये सब minus 1 हो जाएगा. Did you understand? So
Yes,
even
sir.
number मतलब नहीं,
Yes, sir.
आपको डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा. नंबर को मल्टीपल ऑफ 4 है तो 1, मल्टीपल ऑफ 4 से 1 ज्यादा है तो I, मल्टीपल ऑफ 4 से 2 ज्यादा है तो -1.
-1.
Okay, now let's try. Look at this. Suppose I have I to the power, let's say 42, and I to the power 41.
सर मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है?
Yes.
मुझे क्या 30% हो गया भी फोन बंद
The
हो रहा है.
first one is 2
मुझे
more
क्या
than.
प्रॉब्लम हो
It
रहा
will be
है?
I square.
-1.
बैटरी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Yeah, who's speaking in the class?
बोल रहा हूँ.
This you should behave in a class correctly. You are concentrating on what I am teaching. Later on, if you don't concentrate, you won't understand, then don't give me the excuses. So I raised to 42 is I raised to 40 plus 2. This is a multiple of 4.
4.
This will get deleted. So your answer is I square, whose value is minus 1.
-1.
Minus 1.
I raised to 82. It is
Minus
I raised to
Minus
80
1.
multiple of
Minus
4
1.
plus 2 minus 1.
-1.
I raised to 103. 101. I raised to 100
1.
is
Sir,
multiple of
it's
4.
I.
So
Answer is I.
all of you.
Yes.
Now we come to the last category. What is that? I raised to 4n plus 3. 3 more than multiple of 4. For example, I raised to 8 plus 3, 11. What will be I raised to 11? It will be I raised to 8
8
into I
raised
cube.
to 3.
I raised to 8 is 1 and I cube is minus I. Don't
Minus
forget
I.
this.
Minus I.
Understood? I raised to 15 is I raised to 12 into I cube. I raised to 12 is 1, I cube is minus I. So I raised to 4n plus 3 is minus I. So these are the things to remember. I raised to 4n 1, I raised to 4n plus 1 I raised to 4n plus 2 is minus 1, I raised to 4n plus 3 is minus I. Is it clear?
Yes.
Have you written this or should you want to write it?
Written, sir.
Written.
Okay.
Done,
This
sir.
box.
Writing, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah. You write this box first. Those are not written. Write the box first. Next time onwards, what I tell you, only write that much. Eh? Don't write this all what I explain. It's waste of time. So have you written I raised to 4n is 1? In below it, give an example. I raised to 4, I raised to 8, I raised to 100, I raised to 200. All of them are multiple of 4. So answer 1, answer 1, answer 1, answer 1. Then I raised to 4n plus 1 is I, which is a multiple of 4 plus 1 more. I raised to 5, I raised to 9, I raised to 101, I raised to 201. All of them are 1 more than multiple of I. So answer multiple of 4. So answer is I. Then I raised to 4n plus 2 is I square, which is minus 1. So I raised to 7, I raised to 10, 4 and I raised to 8. I raised to 7, 6. I raised to 6. I raised to 202, I raised to 1002. They all will be minus 1. Then I raised to 4n plus 3 will be minus I. For example, I raised to 7. I raised to 15. I raised to 203. All of them will be minus I. This is multiple of 4 plus 1 more, multiple of 4 plus 2 more, multiple of 4, 3 more. Have you all of you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Then practice this question. Find value of or evaluate. First one, I raised to 23. Second one, I raised to 302. I raised to 95. I raised to 116. Write your answers. So you have to take multiple of 4 and how much more. So you may divide by 4 and see.
First one is minus I.
Minus I.
Minus I.
23 is nothing but 20 plus 3.
20
It's
plus
a
3.
multiple of 4, so deleted. So I cube. I cube is minus I.
Minus I.
Is it clear, everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
302. What is a multiple of 4 near to 300?
300.
300.
So 302 if I divide by 4. I think 300 is a multiple of 4.
75.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
70.
sir.
So
300
75
plus.
into 4 is 300. So it is
So
300
it's
plus
minus 1.
Minus 1.
Minus
so
1.
I square.
Minus 1.
Square is minus 1. 95 multiple of 4. Is 92 a multiple of 4?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 2.
Yes, sir.
23. 23.
92 plus 3.
Plus 3.
92 deleted, so I cube.
Minus I.
Cube is minus
Minus I.
I.
116. Is it a multiple of 4?
Yes.
Yes.
1. Answer 1.
1.
Yes, it's a perfectly a multiple of 4. No reminder.
Yes.
So it is answer is 1.
1.
1.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Done? Okay. Now we talk about reciprocal. What about 1 by I? What will be 1 by I square? What will be 1 by I cube? What will be 1 by I raised to 4? Two ways to
Minus
remember.
I.
You know that I square is minus 1. So I into I is minus 1. So I can write 1 minus, I'll put it here. I into minus I is 1. So minus I is 1 by I. This went to the denominator. This is one method of thinking. Another method of thinking is multiply numerator and denominator by I. So numerator became I, denominator became I square, which is minus 1. So minus I. So whenever you come across 1 by I, you can replace it by minus I. 1 by I square, no problem, minus 1. 1 by I cube is minus I. I cube is minus I. 1 by I is minus I. So 2 बार minus आएगा. So positive I होता है. So 1 upon I cube is I. And this is upon 1. So answer is 1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I change the page?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask few questions to students. Austin, you are answering me. What is I square? What is I cube? What is I raised to 4? What is 1 by I? Give me answers of all
So
of
1 second, I was actually writing.
Okay, please write. Austin, you are in the class?
Yes, sir, you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
can change the page.
Everybody has written this page?
Yes, sir.
Okay, move to next one. I want the answers of
Yes,
all.
sir.
Austin is going to be the answer.
So I square is -1.
Yeah.
I cube is -I.
Yes.
And I raised to 4 is 1.
And 1 by I?
1 by I minus I.
Minus I. This is all you have to remember. Remaining everything you can just do orally. Okay. Now I want Yash, can you answer? Yash, आपका वीडियो बराबर है? Audio? Yash,
Yes, sir.
आपको इसका आंसर देना है. इतना का सम कितना होगा? 1 I square I cube. ये तीन चारों ऑर्डर में है. I raised to 0 है 1 ऑर्डर में. उसके बाद मुझे इसका आंसर भी देना है. I raised to 5, I raised to 6, I raised to 7, I raised to 8. उसके बाद मुझे ये आंसर भी चाहिए. I raised to 201, I raised to 202, I raised to 203, I raised to 204. मैंने क्या किया है? कंटिन्यूअस नंबर्स लिया है. I का पावर कंटिन्यूअस. क्या कितना टर्म्स दिया है? 4 कंटिन्यूअस टर्म. What would be your answer? Yes, can you बोल सकते हैं? पहला 1, दूसरा I तो I ही रहेगा. I स्क्वायर कितना है?
I square -1.
-1. और I क्यूब?
-I.
Yes, I.
अभी देखो 1 और -1 कैंसिल हो गया. I और -I आंसर 0. ये भी आंसर 0. ये भी आंसर 0.
Okay.
Oh,
Any
consecutive numbers is
continuous
there.
size power, 4 terms, continuous 4 terms power, if you add, you will get 0. तो इसको कैसे लिख सकते हैं? I raised to n, I raised to n plus 1,
Plus 1.
I raised to
I
n plus
raised to
2,
n plus 2.
plus I raised to n plus 3. ये continuous number है. तो इसका आंसर 0 होगा. 4 continuous numbers, powers are added, you will get answer 0. Note this, note.
Done.
Tell me. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Done, sir.
So this is your major root. इसको box में डाल देने का. Continuous, any continuous 4 i's power will give you 0 as answer. Okay. मुझे एक अच्छा प्रॉब्लम आपको देना है. Okay. 1 plus I raised to 10 plus I raised to 20 plus I raised to 30 कितना होगा? कैलकुलेट करो.
1. No, not 1.
Calculate it and see. One JE नहीं, yeah, JE problem.
Zero.
Can you read properly what I'm writing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर ये जो पहला सम है उसमें जो पहले डिजिट है वो I है या 1 है?
1.
ये 1 है, 1 है.
अच्छा.
है. 86 में मिस आउट हो गए. 1 मिनट है. Okay, you have to calculate this. I raised to 592 से दो कम. I raised to 582 से दो कम. What will be the answer for this? What do you do?
But
If
try
you
to
look
put
at,
them in order.
just look at the difference. Somebody is chatting. Let me see.
Just take the common.
Aryan has given me first answer 0. Okay.
0.
Yeah, everybody got
First
first
zero.
answer 0.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
This is 1. This is 8 plus 2. I
Yes, sir. The
square.
first one
I
is
square
0.
is minus 1. I raised to
Minus
20.
1.
Multiply of
Minus
4.
Plus 1.
1. I raised to
Plus 1
30.
and
minus
again
8
minus
plus
1.
2. So minus 1.
Minus
Minus
1.
1.
So
Minus
it's a real number 0.
So it will be 0.
Did you notice that there is a difference of 10 everywhere?
Yes, sir.
So I will take I raised to 10 common in the numerator. So what happens to power when you take common? Look at this. A raised to 4 plus A raised to 6. Suppose I write A cube common. What will be inside the bracket?
A raised to 7.
No, I took A cube common between them.
So A plus A raised
It
to
will be A raised to
A
1,
plus A
A
raised
raised
to
to 3. When I open the bracket, powers will be added. 3 plus 1, 4. 3 plus 3, 6. So if I take I raised to 10 common from the numerator, what will be the i's power?
582.
592 will
I
become
raised to
582,
582.
582.
590,
580 will, 90 will become 80.
80,
578.
578,
It will be 580.
576,
586 will become 76. I raised to
574,
574. And what is the denominator?
584.
I
10,
raised to 582. I raised to 580. I raised to 578. I raised to 576. And I raised to 574. So is the numerator and denominator same in this bracket?
Yes, sir.
So they will get
Yes,
cancelled.
sir.
They will get cancelled. So what is left is I raised to 10. And how to calculate I raised to 10?
8
Multiple
plus
of
2.
4 is 8.
Multiple of 4. 4 and plus 2, sir.
So
Minus 1.
8 plus 2. Okay,
Minus
I
1.
write it.
Minus 1. 1.
2 I square. Yes. This is 1. This is minus 1. So answer is minus 1. आपको ये directly minus 1 लिख सकते हैं.
Yes, sir.
I hope you understood. This is a MCQ question once came in the
Yes, sir.
JEE main exam. Okay, easy question में आ गया. So I think you have understood i's power. Last
Yes,
one
sir.
question. Last one question. Yes, somebody. Yes. Okay. Last one question. I raised to 47 plus 1 upon I raised to 57. Yes, Ananya, any doubt?
No, sir, by mistake.
So can you calculate this? So 47's nearest multiple of 4 कितना है? 47 का near
44.
44. So I can write this as 44 plus 3.
Yes, sir. That's 4 and plus 3.
Yes, this 44 will go away, so I cube. 57 I can write it as, tell me multiple of 4 near 57.
56, sir.
So this became I cube and this became 1 by I, because any multiple of I raised to 4 multiple of n will give you 1. So 1 into I cube, 1 into I. I cube is minus I. What is 1 by I? 1 by I?
Minus I.
Minus.
Minus I, sir.
So your answer will come minus 2i. Is it clear? Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Anybody
sir.
having a doubt?
Yes, sir.
Somebody have raised hands. Any doubt, if you have, let me know. Okay. If you have no
No,
doubt,
sir.
Let me go to next
No,
part.
sir.
That's all we need to know about I. Now we come across another problem. You have to tell me the kind of number. Suppose I write like this. 2 by 3. What do you call this number? What do you call this number? Okay. What do you call this
Fraction.
number? What do you call this numbers?
Integers.
Integers. What do you call this number?
Rational.
Fraction.
Rational number.
Okay. What do you call this number? Irrational numbers. What do you mean by irrational? Anybody can tell me what the difference between a rational number and irrational number? How do you come to know a number is rational or number is irrational? Whenever you take a rational number and write it in decimal form, either it will recur or it will terminate. Okay, I'll take another number. 5 by 8. 5 by 8, if I make it in decimal form, it will be how much? 0.125 into 5. 575.
0.
Correct? It will terminate. If I write 9 by 8, 1.125. They will terminate, they get stopped. Nothing more here. So a rational number either recurs or terminates. Irrational number will not recur, will not terminate. If I calculate any irrational number's value, it will be like this. 2.371421324. Different numbers will come. It doesn't repeat itself. Such a number is called irrational number. For example, square root of 2. If you calculate the exact value of square root of 2, it will be a number which will never 1.4 different numbers you'll get. It will never get over. Such numbers are called irrational number. Same way pi. 0.14 different numbers will come. So such numbers are called irrational numbers. So in a real number system, there are two types of numbers. One is rational and other is irrational. Rational and irrational numbers. They both together gives you real numbers. Even irrational numbers can be plotted on a number line. If I want to plot root 2 on a number line, see, I'll tell you. This is 1. Take a height of 1 here. Then this hypotenuse will be root 2. Now, this length is root 2. With a compass, you measure this length and cut it. So this point will be root 2. So irrational numbers can also be plotted on a number line. Therefore, they are also real numbers. Okay. Now we come to what is this number? I want to find what is the value of this. X square plus x plus 1 gives me 0. What is this number? What is what? I took a number, squared it, added the number to it, added 1 to it, and I got the answer 0. What is that number? Is it a real number? Is it not a real number? What kind of number? If I want to solve the value of x, if I want to find out the value of x, I have a formula. Do you remember the formula? Minus b plus or minus
Under root b
square of
square
4 minus 4ac upon 2a.
2a.
I took a very easy equation because a is 1, b is 1, c is 1. So I can easily calculate all a, b, c. I can put only 1. Do you agree with my calculation?
Yes, sir.
I get a root of minus 3 here. If I separate it, I have one part minus 1 by 2. Another part, root of minus 3, I can write as root 3i by 2. So this number is like this. It has got a real part, minus half, and it has got an imaginary part. This is one number, and this is another number. Neither it is a real number nor an imaginary number. This much alone is called imaginary number. This is called real number. Real number plus an imaginary number. Such numbers are called complex numbers. Did you follow that? So whenever I write a complex number, it has two parts, a real part and an imaginary part. The real part is A, imaginary part is B. For example, 3 plus 4i is a complex number whose real part, we usually denote a complex number by Z. The real part of this complex number is 3, and the imaginary part of this complex number is not 4i, only 4. Did you follow this? Now my question to you is 10 a real complex number? Can I write 10 as a complex number?
Yes.
Yes,
10
because
0.
10 can be written as 10 plus 0i. So it is a complex number. Root of minus 16, is it a complex number?
Yes, sir.
Root of minus 16 is 4i.
4i, 0 plus 4i.
Which can be written as 0 plus 4i. Any number which can be written as a plus bi is called a complex number. So the whole set of complex number has three parts. The real numbers, all real numbers are complex numbers, because you tell me a real number, 7. It can be written as 7 plus 0i. So it becomes
0i.
So we have real numbers, we have imaginary numbers, and we have pure complex numbers. What is pure complex number? Neither real part nor imaginary part is 0. In a imaginary number, real part is 0. In a real number, imaginary part is 0. In a pure complex number, none of them is 0. Neither real part nor imaginary part is 0. So the whole complex number can be grouped into three parts: real numbers, imaginary numbers, and pure complex numbers.
Your complex numbers.
Okay. You tell me, what is this number known as? What is this number known as? And what is this number known as? What do you call this number? This belongs to which category?
Real.
Real number.
Is it a complex number? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is this number? Root 5i.
Imaginary number.
Imaginary number.
Imaginary number. Is it a complex number? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is this number? 3
Complex.
plus
Pure
4i.
complex.
Pure
3
complex.
plus
complex.
4i.
The pure complex number. Is it a complex number?
Of
Yes.
course, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All the numbers in this world, what do you know? All of them are complex numbers. Did you follow that?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
till 10th standard, you had learned only real numbers.
Sir,
11th standard, you added to. Yes, some doubt?
sir, you can show previous page I was writing.
No, you don't have to write that. I'm yet to explain that. Wait a minute. I'm going to give. Don't write all small things which are right on the board. What you need to write, I'll just write. Now, can you write down? Heading. Complex number. Complex number. Any number of the form a plus bi, that is iota, where a and b are real numbers and I is root of minus 1. This you put in bracket, is a complex number. A is called the real part of the complex number. B is called imaginary part of the complex number. So if you call Z as the complex number, A plus BI, a real part of Z, RE you write. And imaginary part you write IM. So real part of Z is A, imaginary part of Z is B. So don't think imaginary part is BI, it is only B. So I gave you the definition of complex number. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we go to,
Yes, sir.
is a real number a complex number? Is a real number a complex number? This question's answer we are going to give. Is real numbers are complex number? Okay, numbers are complex numbers. So give an example of a real number. Let's say 5. 5 can be written as 5 plus 0i. Therefore, it is a complex number. Any real number, A, can be written as A plus 0i. Therefore, this is a complex number. Then are imaginary numbers a complex number? Are imaginary numbers is imaginary numbers are complex numbers? Root of minus 16 is an imaginary number, which can be written as 0 plus 4i. Therefore, it is complex. So any imaginary number, let's say bi, can be written as 0 plus bi. Therefore, it is a complex number. So in real number, imaginary part is 0. Have you written this much?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Written? Can I
Yes.
change?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Then what is pure complex number? A plus bi is pure complex number if neither A is 0 nor B is 0. Then it is called a pure complex number. So the whole set of complex number has got 3 parts. Real numbers, then imaginary numbers, can read it now, and pure complex numbers. These 3 together is known as the whole set of complex numbers. I hope you understood this much. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to teach you When do you say two complex numbers are equal? Are equal. You're writing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A plus bi and c plus di are equal if the real part is equal to the real part. That is not sufficient. And the imaginary part should be equal to the imaginary part. So, if 4 plus 3i is x plus iy, then what is x? Can x have any other number?
X is 4.
X got to be 4
4.
and y got to be
3.
3 and no other way. So can I say 4 plus 3i and 3 plus 4i, are they equal?
No.
No. Because real is not equal to real, imaginary is not equal to imaginary. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now can I change the page?
Yes, sir.
Or you are writing?
Sir, done.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Right.
Yeah, right. No problem. Okay, right? Ready?
Yes, sir.
What is complex conjugate of a complex number? So if you come across this word, complex conjugate, what does it mean? Complex conjugate of a plus bi. What is this? It is a minus bi. The imaginary part sign should be reversed. If it is plus here, make it minus. Then we call it as complex conjugate. What is complex conjugate of 4 minus 3i?
It is 4 plus 3i.
4 plus 3i.
What is complex conjugate of minus 2i plus 5?
Plus 2i plus
Minus 2i minus 5.
No, the real part will not change. Real part will not change.
plus
Only
2i.
imaginary
Minus 2i
part,
minus 5.
2i plus 5. Or you can write it as 5.
Acha, so you inverse.
Only
thought
the
that minus
imaginary part sign will change. In a complex conjugate, only imaginary part sign will change. Others will remain the same. Okay. What is complex conjugate of 5?
5.
What is complex conjugate of minus 4i? Both you give me the answer.
I and 4i.
5 is nothing but 5 plus 0i.
5 is 0.
4i.
Complex conjugate is 5 minus 0i.
0i. 5 minus
Same as
0i.
So there is no change at all. If it's a real number,
2 plus 4.
its complex conjugate is the same number. But
तो
if it
माइनस
is
वाई नहीं होगा क्या?
a
Y का
0i minus
minus y
0i
नहीं
हो
हो
गया ना? But minus 0i is same as
लेकिन
5 only.
ओके
So there is no change in when a real numbers complex conjugate में कुछ change ही नहीं होगा, वही number होगा. But imaginary number में क्या होगा?
Plus 4i.
Plus 4i होगा.
It will become 4i.
Plus 4i. Now what is the notation we use? Can I change the page?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
Yes, sir.
Z is denoting the complex numbers. A complex number is denoted by Z. And the complex conjugate is denoted by Z bar. Complex conjugate is denoted by Z bar. What can you say if Z bar and Z are equal? What should be Z? If Z bar is minus Z, then what should be Z? When this is possible? I'm asking a logical question. Anybody can tell me. If Z bar and Z are equal, when does Z bar and Z become equal? They become same.
Z is 1.
1 is also correct. 5 is also correct. 1 by 2 is also correct. Root 3 also is correct.
Any number actually. They both are
Not any number.
Any real number.
Any real number. Then Z is a real number.
Yeah, any real
Very good.
number.
Very good. What is? And a Z bar will become Z. That means a complex numbers conjugate and number itself become equal. Then Z should be a real number. So that is one of the tests to test a real Z is real. When Z bar become minus Z, then Z is a imaginary number. Then Z is an imaginary number. If you take 2 times complex number conjugate Z over Z, it will come back to the original number. Always, whatever the number be. For example, Z is A plus BI. I took the conjugate of it, A minus BI. Again, I took the conjugate of it. It became A plus BI.
A plus BR.
Again back to
A number and 2 times conjugate will come back to the same number. So property number 1, property number 2, property number 3. Okay, property number 4. If you add a complex number with its conjugate, what will you get? If you subtract a complex number with its conjugate, what will you get? So imagine Z is A plus BI. Z bar is A minus B. Add both, what will you get?
2A.
2A.
Twice
So
the real part of
2 times the real part. And if you subtract 2
times the imaginary part.
Not correct. Into I also will be there. Imaginary part is only B. When you subtract this both, they become 2BI. This B is called imaginary part. So there will be an I will be coming with it. 2 imaginary part don't have I in it. Imaginary part is only B. So your answer is 2 imaginary part into I. Is it clear? These are the things which you need to know for JEE.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is basically meant for, I'm warming you up for JEE. All right. So somebody tells you 2 complex number and its conjugate are equal, will say the number is real. Somebody tells you the conjugate is negative of the number, then immediately you'll say Z is an imaginary number. Whenever I take double the conjugate, 2 times the conjugate, I'll come back to original number. Whenever I add a number with its conjugate, I'll get twice the real part. But when you subtract a number with its conjugate, you will get 2 times imaginary part into I. All 5 properties are clear to everybody?
Yes. So, but why I should be taken as imaginary as ZI? Because I itself is an imaginary number, na?
No. When I defined imaginary part, see here, what is imaginary part? Is it BI? Only B.
Only B.
Only B. Why? It is defined that way. Why Manoj sir is called Manoj? Because my parents defined me as Manoj. So when they defined imaginary part of Z, they only took the number. They did not take this I. So imaginary part of Z is defined as B. Once I say it's defined as B, you don't have a chance to ask me why. Because something is called this way, it is called that way. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So when you call imaginary part as only B, so when you subtract Z with a Z bar, I will not get only 2B. I'll get 2BI. So 2 imaginary part into I. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we come to addition of complex numbers. I don't have much time. Okay. Utna to kar sakte hain. Addition of complex numbers. How will I add two complex numbers? Very simple. Very simple logic. 4 plus 3i is one complex number. I want to add another complex number to it, 3 plus 2i. Then what should I do?
Add the real part and imaginary.
Yeah.
Imaginary part with imaginary part.
Yeah. Real should be added with the real. 4 plus 3, 7. Imaginary should be added with imaginary. 5i. Plus. Even you do subtraction. 4 plus 3i minus 3 plus 2i.
Like terms with like terms.
Just open the bracket first. 4 plus 3i minus 3 minus 2i. Then take real together, take imaginary together. That gives you 1 plus I. So just open the bracket, like terms get together, imaginary part together, real part together, imaginary part together, add, subtract, jo bhi karna hai. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then comes to multiplication. It is just opening the bracket. 4 plus 3i multiplied with 2 minus 3i. It is same like how you open the bracket a plus b into c plus d. How do you open the bracket? First, this 4 will multiply with this bracket. Chalega?
Yes, sir.
Then 3i will multiply with the bracket. When you open the bracket, 8 minus 12i plus 6i minus 9i square. Barabar hai?
Yes.
And what is I square? What is I square?
Minus 1.
Minus
So
1.
minus 9 into minus 1 ho jayega. So what are the real numbers? 8 and plus 9. ये दोनों add हो जाएगा. Or imaginary part minus 12i and 6i. So it becomes 17 minus 12 plus 6 will become minus 6. Have you learned how to multiply?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just open the bracket. That is called multiplication. आपको इसको mentally भी कर सकते हैं. How? ये दोनों real number मिलेगा. ये दोनों के बीच में real number मिलेगा. So 4 into 2 will give you 8. 3i into minus 3i will give you minus 9i square. लेकिन i square minus होने के कारण 8 plus 9 हो जाएगा. That's why you get 17. इसके बाद आपको mentally कर सकते हैं the imaginary part. How do you get the imaginary part? 4 will multiply with minus 3i and 3i will multiply with the 2. So 4 into minus 3i minus 12i.
Minus 12i.
And a 6i. So that when you add, you'll get minus 6i. ऐसा mentally भी कर सकते हैं. First, real number. Real with real, imaginary with imaginary. We'll get the real part. Imaginary part के लिए real with imaginary, imaginary with the real. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Just calculate once yourself. 4 plus 2i into into 1 minus 3i plus 2 minus 3i into 4 minus 5i. इसका कैलकुलेशन आपको करना है. This is the last question of the day. Wrote the question? Everybody wrote the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
4 multiplied with 1 minus 3i. 2i multiplied with 1 minus 3i. 2 multiplied with 4 minus 5i. Minus 3i multiplied with 4 minus 5i. अभी इसको ओपन करो. 4 minus 12i. 2i into 1, 2i. 2 into 3, 2 into minus 3 minus 6.
I square.
Plus 2 into 4, 8. 10i minus 12i plus 15i square. अब एक और स्टेप लिखेंगे. 4 ये दोनों को कंबाइन करो. minus 10i. ये plus 6 हो जाएगा. ये दोनों को कंबाइन करो. minus 22i.
Minus 22i.
और i square minus 1 हो गया. minus 15. Since i square is minus 1. Now how many real numbers? 4, 6, 8 and minus 15. 4 plus 6 plus 8 minus 15. ये सब real numbers है. और imaginary number क्या क्या है? minus 10i और minus 22i. So 10, 18. So 3 हो गया. Minus 32i. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This class I will be teaching you how to divide complex number. All right. And then we will do all the numericals. I'll send you some homework today. And then I'll stop the class for today. Let me stop my recording.